I'm honestly at the point where I'm ready to just rip the engine out of this car and start with something new. Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to go ahead and fill you guys in with what's going on with Project Cefiro, because as you guys know, the thing has been sitting for probably about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I'm tired of having it just sit there. I've been wanting to get something done with it. Honestly, I've been wanting to vlog more of it as well, but with it sitting in the parking garage and how dark it is in there, it's very complicated. And I did a little bit of work over the last few days on the car, and I'm going to show you guys what we've done with my buddy Dave and I'll tell you about that in a second. But I've been wanting to film more of it, but sitting in the parking garage, it's just so hard because the only lighting that I have is either using a cell phone or a flashlight, and honestly it's just so difficult to try to maneuver everything and get it to where I want it to be to film it correctly for you guys. It basically takes like a 2-hour job and turns it into a 4-hour job. So I've done a lot of work off camera, and I'm going to show you guys what I've done to the car over the last couple days to try to get it to where it's at right now. But what I'm hoping is that with you guys out there watching, maybe you guys can give me some ideas of what might be wrong with the car. We're also going to go ahead and take a look at something simple that I can go ahead and film for you guys while I'm down there, because that way I can kind of do in the next kind of 20 to 30 minutes or so and make it into something for you to see. But I'll talk about that also here in a second. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys an idea of what we've been doing to the car. So what I want to do is pick it up from where we left off, where we pulled the fuel pump out of the car. So if you probably saw in the last video that I posted up, well, I think actually it was 2 videos ago, that we pulled the fuel pump out of the car, and when I looked at it, it was definitely not an original fuel pump. I mean, this thing was probably about that big, and it really was underpowering the car. It wasn't pushing enough fuel to it, and I think that was one of the biggest issues that we had. Another issue that I think we had was the wiring on the car is so old and brittle that I think it wasn't sending enough constant power to the fuel pump to be able to send it back to the car. So I really think we had a couple other issues going on more than just the fuel pump itself. So my buddy Dave came over yesterday, and him and I were able to take the new pump that we got from Nissan, and we're able to swap it into the fuel sending unit and throw it back into the tank. That was the easy part. Honestly, it really wasn't that much to see. It was just a few bolts and a couple clamps, and we just stuck it right back in the tank. So that was really the easy part of our day. What we really wanted to get done yesterday was hardwiring the fuel pump straight to the battery to another relay. So we were able to get that done as well. So luckily the car actually has fuel. It's getting enough fuel. We can hear the fuel pump turning on when we turn the ignition. The car is running a little bit better in a way. What our major problem is right now is we're getting a really bad misfire coming from the engine. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and check it out. But first, I wanted to show you something that I've done here in the house. I don't think Evelyn's gonna be too happy when she comes home to see this. And in fact, I already sent her a picture of what I've already done, and she wasn't exactly too thrilled about it, but we'll get her full reaction whenever she comes home. But I'm sure when she sees this video too, she's probably already gonna flip out on me, but oh well. So I have this office space that I use to keep all my other random things in here, and I also keep some clothes and stuff in here because really there isn't enough closet space in this whole house for both of us. So I use this room kind of just to keep all my random stuff that I have. And in fact, if you guys saw my other videos, I bought a bunch of car parts and stuff, and I didn't really have anywhere to store it. So this actually used to have a single bed in it for I think a child or something, whoever was living here before, and I ended up dismantling that entire bed, and I put all my car parts in here. And right now it looks like a garage. So it's my own little garage inside of my apartment. I don't think Evelyn's gonna be too happy about that because it's one of the first things that you see when people come over, but oh well. Hopefully people appreciate it either way. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I don't think I've ever showed you guys this room before on camera, but this is the room that I'm talking about. So all of the Sylvia parts that I bought, like the dashboard and the little center console and everything and the wiring, I have it all strewn about. And then I have tools and old car parts, and oh man, and she's probably not too happy about this, but oh well, I gotta put them somewhere. So I ended up cleaning them up. I ended up buying some like McGuire spray that I used to clean it up and polish it, and actually it really came out nice. Like honestly, it's super glossy and clean, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. This definitely has some scratches like I talked about before. I'm gonna have to either repaint it or just buy it new later down the line. I'm gonna end up changing this piece out right here because it's gonna be something that it has to be changed regardless whenever I do the swap. Yeah, so not too bad. And then of course I got all the wiring, and I went through all the different connectors to figure out what they go to. And some of these you can see, like for example, this plug goes to, let's see, I picked a really random one that I can't read. Okay, this is the window defogging switch, and This goes to the hazard switch, and I mean, you can go through and see that I labeled every single one of these things. I get a little carried away. I'm a little OCD when it comes to like labeling and managing different car parts, and one of the things I get passionate about and excited about doing, so yeah, I went through the whole thing. So anyway, who cares about that? We want to go ahead and see what's wrong with the car. Let's go ahead and head down to the parking garage and check out the car and see what kind of condition it's in. I'm going to show you some of the work that we did yesterday as well when it came to hardwiring the car, so you guys can see what we did there too. So let's go. So let's go ahead and check out some of the stuff that we got done yesterday. So we started off by running this power cable to the back of the car, and I'll kind of show you guys how we did that. But this cable right here is what's going to power the fuel pump all the way to the back of the car. But we haven't quite finished yet, so this is by far, or I'm sorry, this is like not by any means the final product. Obviously we still want to zip line stuff, clean it up, run it along the line so that way it looks nice and tidy. But right now we just kind of have it left loose so that way we can fix whatever we need to fix. So that's the power cable, and what it does is it runs through one of the grommets over here. As you can see, it runs through there, and then when you come into the interior, I've got this thing pretty well gutted out in the back, but it runs through the back of the firewall here, and then it ran along underneath the carpet, and then it goes underneath the door sills. I gotta clean up a lot of the car, I know. And as you can see, it goes through back there, and then I'll show you over here where I got the entire back of the car all gutted out. It's kind of hard to get it with the light, but you can kind of see it. It's not going to focus too well, but I got the entire back seat all torn up. But anyway, it runs along the door sill area here, and then behind the seats. These actually are not attached right now, they just kind of look like it. And then we come to the back of the car, and we have it running from under there. And then we have it running to all our cables over here. Some of you guys are probably cringing right now looking at that blue tape and all that stuff. This is not gonna stay like that. We are gonna solder everything up. The reason why it's not soldered right now is because the soldering connector is all the way over there, and I can't move the car until I get the damn thing running. So right now, for the moment, it's gonna have to stay like that until I can at least coast it over to that area. And then there we go. So we can coast it over to that area and hope that we can actually get it soldered up. So anyway, for now it actually runs, it does turn on and everything. Like I said, it's not gonna stay that way. So hopefully you guys don't leave a bunch of hate messages down in the comments, but we have it grounded over there, and then we have it run to the relay, and then we have it going to our fuel pump relay connector, as well as some of the other connections over here to the main harness. The fuel pump itself isn't the issue anymore. It actually turns on really nicely, and it sounds great. It actually runs well. What the problem is that we're having a bad misfire. So I'm hoping, let's see if I can get this light. So I'm hoping that maybe you guys can help me out a little bit. So we've changed out the spark plugs. I've changed out the spark plug cables. I've changed out, what else have I changed? We fiddled with the timing a little bit on the distributor, and that seemed to help a little bit. What I'm suspecting is that maybe the distributor cap and the rotor are bad. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but I'm pretty sure that could be one of the issues. So we're gonna go ahead and take out the distributor cap and rotor and see what the condition of that looks like here in a second. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and turn the car on for you guys and see if you can hear the misfire. So let's go ahead and turn the car on here. So you can see right there, the idle's pretty whatever right now, to be honest. And then, but if we come back here, you can hear it. It's just like blah, 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 blah. I just won't focus right now. There we go. And then we come to the motor. It's kind of, you can tell it's shaking right now. It's hard to tell. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell right now on camera, but there is a bad misfire happening, and I don't know exactly what it could be. I really am, like I said, starting to think it might be a bad distributor cap and rotor. I mean, it looks pretty old, so I'm hoping that maybe that might be the issue. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off and see if we can figure if that might be the issue or not. Man, that was a mission. Man, I had to take off the whole airbox system just to be able to access that one bolt. So I got the distributor cap and the rotor off, and you saw I took off that little cap right there as well because I wanted to see what part number this was, because there's two different brands that make these distributors for this car. This one in particular I think is made by Mitsubishi. Well, it's got a Mitsubishi stamp in it, so I'm gonna guess yes. And then, but yeah, look at the condition of these bolts, man. These things are so old. In fact, I had a hard time getting them off, and because of this stupid air conditioning line, I couldn't access it without taking the airbox off. I mean, I probably could have if I would have had the right size screwdriver, but like with what I have here, it just didn't work. So you can clearly see the condition of this car has seen better days. I'm definitely looking forward to giving this thing a good scrub and get a power washer and clean the crap out of it, because all of this dirt and grime is just driving my OCD nuts. But yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cap and the rotor and see what kind of conditions. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it upstairs so we can see it better up there without using this silly light on my phone. All right guys, so I brought the cap and the rotor upstairs so we can take a closer look at it. So just by looking at the outside cover, you can tell this thing is pretty dated. I mean, this thing is beat. It's so dirty and nasty. I wouldn't even be surprised if this was the original one. But if we take a look at the terminals inside, those things are not supposed to be all like charred like that. I don't know how well it's focusing on the camera, but yeah, look at these terminals, guys. Look at that one. That one especially is really bad. That's not supposed to be all like scarred up and corroded like that. Wow. So yeah, these things have definitely been in this car for a long time. And then let's take a look at the rotor. So I was looking at it earlier, and man, look at that. It is all corroded and like just bad. That is not good. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can, there you go. That is terrible. So if this thing is not working right, it's not going to generate the right spark. And so the way this basically works is you have that little post that you saw on the earlier when we were taking off this little gold cap that was on the inside of the distributor. And so this rotates on that. And so what it does is when the igniter, I guess, sends the signal to this, it rotates it, and it's supposed to spark all of these that are connected to the spark plug wires, which then sends the electricity to the spark plugs, which are inside your engine. So if this thing is not hitting these terminals right, then it's not going to generate the right spark. It's going to be very weak or not even a spark at all. So I'm looking at this thing and it is so unevenly worn up there that I am not surprised that this thing is running like crap. This has definitely got to be one of my problems here. If you guys can think of something else that I could probably take a look at, let me know down in the comments below. Like I said, I've changed the plugs, I've changed the wires, I've changed, we've kind of messed around with the timing a little bit on the distributor cap, or on the distributor itself. And I can't think of anything else that we could mess around with aside from looking at another fuel issue, maybe an injector. But I don't think it's an injector either, because we listened to them yesterday. They were all firing and they were all, you know, doing their job, as well as the fuel pump is doing its job. So I don't know, I'm scratching my brain right now. If it's not the distributor cap, which obviously this thing needs to be changed regardless, so I'm gonna go ahead and order another one of these, and I'm probably gonna, and obviously a new rotor as well, so I'm gonna have to change those two parts. I don't know, I can't think of anything else that could be causing this misfire, aside from maybe something wrong with the engine. But I don't know, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you guys can think of anything else that might be wrong with the car that could be causing another misfire issue. I'm not getting any codes from the ECU, so I don't know what else it could be. So anyway, let me know down in the comments below. Sorry if this was a shorter video than usual. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update about what's going on with the car. I do actually have some plans this weekend to go pick up some other parts in Thailand for the Cefiro, some JDM parts. So it's gonna be a whole road trip. I think it's gonna be a pretty cool experience. I'm gonna be going up there for my first time, and I'm actually gonna be driving. If not, I'm gonna be taking a bus. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm gonna be heading up that way to go pick up some parts for the car. And then we might stay the weekend. I don't know, I haven't figured it out. My buddy Dave might be going with me, so we'll see. We might turn this into like a vlogging road trip. So either way, I'm gonna vlog it, so it should be a fun experience. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any cool ideas, and if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!